Good morning, everyone. My name is Ibrahim and I am presenting on telemedicine.
Presenting on
telemedicine. I'm profoundly delighted to recognize the presence of the golden voice, Professor Ibrahim, the governor of Adamawa State, represented by the Commissioner of Health, Dr. Ahmad Tukur, the Managing Director of Federal Medical Center, Dr. Muawiyah Abbazumo, the Commissioner of Women Affairs, Barrister Deborah Yunusa, gentlemen of the press from Gotel and ABC Communication, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Before I start to go into this topic, I would like us to know what it means. I will break it into tele and medicine. And if I am to ask what tele means, is there anyone? Okay, it's a word that is being derived from, it's a Greek word that is derived from telos, which means distant. And we all know medicine. What is medicine then? Is there anyone? Okay.
the science of human medication.
Okay. So, which means offering a treatment or medicament from a distance. That's telemedicine. So, is there any one of us that been diagnosed using this kind of approach? That's telemedicine. Is okay. Please.
Through internet, Google.
Okay. Okay. So, as we all know, from what we learn in this class, you cannot not communicate, as been said by Wilbur Shaw. So that means communication is first step in solving any problem. So, and it also applies to medical line. So you have to communicate either one-on-one or from a distance. That means telemedicine is also a form of communication. As long-distance communication starts areas like in the 1900s, our African villagers used to light up a smoke to show people a sign to stay away from the village if there is a kind of widespread of disease, which is also a form of communication. So, and it also involves a lot of things. It has to be like there are some components. When to communicate, you have to have the sender, the receiver, and the transmission media. So, as we are communicating now, I will be as the sender, you will be the receiver, and the voice through this wave serves as the medium. So likewise, you will see what telemedicine means and how it's been started. So telemedicine is technology first began as a form of healthcare delivery in the late 1960s due to the need of National Aeronautic and Space Administration and the Nebraska Psychology Institute. So it is also a form of telecommunication and information technology to provide healthcare services. What? Okay. So, in telemedicine, it's a form of diagnosing or offering a service, a treatment from a distance. So, there are three types of this telemedicine. We have the store and forward, and also remote monitoring and real-time interaction. The store and forward, you don't need to have both parties at the same time. So you can send, for example, your details of maybe the sicknesses, and the doctor will receive that at his own convenient time, and he will get back to you. So it is not concurrent. But the remote monitoring, which I'll draw an instance that happened with one of our professors here. at the university. He was diagnosed at the clinic that he has a kind of heart disease, and after, if care is not taken, he will not stay like for up to a week. So with the help of telemedicine, he contacted the insurance company, which he registered. So they have to diagnose him from Paris, where he is at the school, AUN. So with that, telemedicine help and saves lives. So, but when it comes to the real-time interaction, it is more like video conferencing. With example like Skyping, video call. You can do that with your doctor, explaining how you feel, the symptoms, and he will kind of recommend some settings, some medications. Statistics shows that the telemedicine market globally worth 17.8 billion in 2014, which is projected to grow in 2020. And the patient that use telemedicine is 350,000 in 2013, which is also projected to reach 7 million by 2018. So, with the new trends in medicine, US spent 2.9 trillion on healthcare every year, but they discovered $200 billion will be avoidable if they implement telemedicine. So, with that, telemedicine, if they can implement telemedicine in other part of the world, so Nigeria is not an exception, because we are in need of it more than them, because people in the rural areas, they don't have access to the healthcare facilities, and it is kind of difficult for them to transport themselves from the rural areas to where they will reach the doctors. So that means if there are clinics with the few equipments that will help telemedicine to be functional, that means they will have access to healthcare facilities. Example, someone in Fufure local government will have access to a doctor in Federal Medical Center without coming to Federal Medical Center. So, but telemedicine has its own benefits, likewise its drawbacks. Some of the benefits of telemedicine is accuracy. You will have all your data on the system, which every doctor can log into it and know your past record, which will help him to prescribe the medications. And also the transportation problem. Some people don't have access to transport. Some have access to it, but they are not feeling fine. They are kind of sick that they can't move from one place to another. Likewise, easy retrieval of their records. Instead of giving a card, searching for one file in 1,000, with just a request, a click, you will get all the information. So, and also security theft and damages. So, because of the time factor, with the rapid change in technology and how the world is turning into a global village, I think telemedicine is a solution to our problem, especially in rural areas.